Welcome to the Blue Cafe. We offer stories of infidelity, betrayal, and redemption. Please like and subscribe. Cheers. Now, on to today's story. Found a journal where wife documented her desire to have sex with another man. Confronted her, and was told he just represents a feeling. Rant. Felt like I wasn't getting the whole story, so a few weeks later I went through her phone, and sure enough, found extensive texts back and forth between the two of them over the past 6 months. Absolutely 100% undeniably an emotional affair. I confronted her and she admitted to it. Her friends are now telling her I violated her privacy by going through her phone. How exactly am I the bad guy here? Bizarre to me that nobody is calling out the infidelity that precipitated the snooping. Edit, since this blew up, gonna add another bit of info. I messaged her AP when I found out. I introduced myself as her husband, told him that there are 2 young kids on the other side of this equation, and asked him if he's as willing to destroy a family as I am to defend it. He read my messages but did not reply. My wife subsequently deleted her WhatsApp account completely, which was their primary means of communication. In retrospect, I'm not sure if I would do it again. I was enraged and not thinking clearly. I recognize he's a symptom and not the illness, but I also don't regret it. Who cares if you went through it? She cheated. If you find something, privacy is thrown out the window. It's like in football, when a coach calls a weird play. They say if it works he's a genius, if it doesn't he is an idiot. Don't let them flip the blame. It does feel like it's an attempt to justify her cheating. No wonder you cheated. She wouldn't cheat if you trusted her. Rolling eyes face, rolling eyes face, rolling eyes face. LMFAO, do people actually play that card? They do. Women's toxic friends do so, often just to help blow up the relationship. Women's toxic friends. Fee. Interesting, because my husband and past boyfriends played the same card. Well, they were full of it. If their conduct in a relation is such that it causes the so to snoop, then snooping was justified. It's a different situation altogether if the other party is insecure or controlling and keeps snapping all the time. Because misery loves company. Have a search on Google relating to the term false equivalency to do with infidelity. There is a great write-up about the thoughts of false equivalency as well as the mind duck of Davo, which you are experiencing, and the award-winning post about your snooping sins. Don't let others rewrite history. Your partner is trying to minimize and blame shift along with her gaggle of flying monkey friends. These behaviors are a hallmark of disordered individuals with self-serving traits. There is no winning with these types of people. Amazing to read these now. Thank you. More than justified, they were in it. Yup. They were willing accomplices. I have seen that people are fond of saying you are entitled to privacy, but not secrecy. You stumbled upon her secrets and followed the logic. She is 100% in the wrong. This is a great line. Saving this. Saving this as well. Honestly, the only thing I think you did wrong was immediately confronting AP and WS. Hopefully you saved off screenshots of the messages so she could not delete them and then gaslight you to death. If AP is married, send the screenshots to AP's wife. She has the right to know her husband is having an EA. Her privacy means nothing when she is cheating on you. Good luck. Thank you. Please do not listen to someone who thinks you violated her privacy. That's just BS from someone who obviously does not understand how a relationship works. She is cheating and you caught her. Now they are trying to make you feel bad for catching her. What happened to transparency in a marriage? Edit, for grammar. She is way out of bounds, and now that you caught her she then only tells you. You need to grey rock and see an attorney. She shouldn't be worried about you looking on her phone but be concerned about being served papers. Stay strong. We have kids in a no-fault state, so I'd at least like to try to work through the hows and whys before giving up. I know this sub is largely anti-reconciliation, but after being together for 22 years, I think it's worth doing at least a little bit of work. She isn't acting like she wants to reconcile. She's acting like she wants you to be fine with her unapologetically cheating. You need to get a lawyer and act like you're going to leave her even if you want to try. Trust me, it's the only thing that has a chance of shaking her out of this and back into reality. Never do the pick-me dance. But by then you probably won't want her anyway. Understood? Not interested in the pick-me dance. Especially when the guy is an idealized fantasy. I agree that it's easy to give up on marriage. So if you want to save the marriage you need to end it. I'll explain. Affairs are like a cancer that spreads. You have to immediately blow it up. Let your friends know, her family and yours. She has to be exposed for what she did to you and the kids. Do not even play the pick-me dance because you will lose. This was not a one-night stand. This was a deliberate relationship in which she chose this guy over you. She needs to see what her future life looks like without you. In her mind you will always be there for her. You have to be very tough and you might be surprised it will blow up her affair fog she is in now. Good luck to you. Thanks. I've done some reading in this regard, the fog, etc. I can see merits on both sides. I had an initial consultation with a divorce lawyer. Still debating how nuclear I want to go. Leaning towards a controlled 6mo separation. I'm sorry this is happening, whatever you do I'll back you up. You don't deserve this but you have to deal with it for you and your kids. Your wife doesn't respect you, so remember that. Take care. Thank you. Definitely being dealt with. You mean giving her a 6-month pass to try out her new relationship? Lol, have some dignity. I know this is tough, but you need to act with a spine. A temporary separation as a result of an affair is almost always just used by the cheater to escalate the cheating, because they don't have to hide it anymore. All you would be doing is condoning her doing it more. Since you have kids with her, you can divorce her in a way that protects the kids. I sense that your biggest concern is how the kids will take divorce. I think that's accurate. First, any and all of the so-called friends that went after you to say, stay the hell out of your wife's phone. Your wife does not need vicious a-holes like them. They are not friends. My belief is, when you're married, there is nothing that should be locked down, caged up, hidden, or none of the partner's business. When you have an open policy in a marriage, all at home is fine. When one person starts to act out of character and starts locking down their phone, something is wrong. He or she is hiding something. Open policy or leave/divorce. Now, your wife. You found a journal. You read the journal. Come to find out, she's been cheating. So, is she going to stop? Or is she going on lockdown, telling you to F off? She's staying with him? Edit ad. How do you know it's only an EA? Does AP have a wife? A girlfriend? AP lives in another country, thousands of miles away. He's an old high school flame. No wife. No kids. Last January he reached out to her essentially out of the blue to say, I've always loved you. You are the one that got away. Have no doubt it was headed to Pound Town. I just happened to catch it before either of them hopped on a flight. What a effing snake this guy is. And no balls to write back to you. And what is your wife's reaction to him saying I always loved you? Did she respond back to him? What's her plans? Yeah, he's pathetic. He's got to be incredibly lonely and broken to throw himself at a married woman with kids. Then again, joke's on me, because my wife was lonely enough to respond. Her reply was, I love my husband, I love my kids. You've always had a place in my heart. You can still be there. Up until she started deleting texts and having conversations about our relationship with him, etc. Is it a bad marriage? Or did she make it out for her oh look good? You are bad. And just make up stuff as they went along? The thing I hate. The AP knows everything about you and you know nothing about him. It's like she never had your back. Her friends are making a stink because they're trash, and they're probably even encouraging her to cheat. While I generally believe in giving people their privacy, it's not even in the same ballpark as cheating. It's like trying to say jaywalking is just as bad as running someone over with your car. It's just not. WW has spontaneously turned off iMessage read receipts. Gaslighting me by saying she's never used them. Advice. I showed her the undeniable read receipt from our messages sent last night, and she is still insisting that she has never used them. We've been together for 2 decades, and she has always used them. I told her it's important to me for communication about our kids, etc., but she's not turning them back on. It's super confusing to me. I don't know why she would do this, especially as we have been amicable since D-Day. Any ideas? Edit, she turned them back on. Claims she always assumed they were off, and didn't make any changes, and was confused to hear they had been turned off. Story sounds like bullshit to me, because it likely is. Just can't figure out what she was hoping to accomplish. If she won't acknowledge that the read receipts show that she might be hiding something, then she probably is hiding something. One task of a WS is to do anything necessary to help the BS heal. This is a sign that she's either not remorseful, is hiding something again, or thinks she's done enough and doesn't care about your healing. In other words, really not good. I agree with the latter. But the only thing she'd be hiding is when she saw a text from me. Which seems minor. I don't know what it would let her get away with or obfuscate, so to speak. It lets her hide when she's not getting your messages or ignoring them. Having read receipts lets you figure out when she's not on her phone for long periods of time. If she's suddenly not on her phone often when she really should be, why would she be hiding that if it is something innocuous? Like I can see her not wanting you to know she isn't reading your texts because she's bumping uglies with an AP for an hour every day, but struggling to find a good reason. The gaslighting is a huge red flag. Exactly. My WW had a habit of pretending not to see messages or missed calls when she was MIA for hours at a time. She always said she would have responded if she had seen them, but she was having so much fun with her friends she lost track of time. I see. Some context, AP is in another country, the affair has been emotional. They have not seen each other in person for over a decade. The AP you know of. Regardless, she is doing this for a reason. If nothing else, it allows her to stall for time to consider the best response without you knowing how long that took. Not really something you want to see in a WS considering she's testing your boundaries and defenses. That's what this is. Totally possible. Just seems like an odd feature to test. Really? If you hadn't noticed, that would have told her that you're not checking. Sorry, I don't think I understand what you are getting at. Are you saying she did it to see if I'd notice and say something? Yes. It's something small she could use to test how closely you're paying attention to her. She thought she'd either not get caught or have plausible deniability with her dumb story if she did. It means she's testing what you'll notice and what you won't. And getting caught means you won't leave because it's something subtle. That's my guess. Right on, thanks for explaining. My current theory, she googled how to hide activity on iPhone and this was one of the listed steps. She conducted her EA through her phone, and it's where I discovered the bulk of it 2 months ago. Whether you realize it, or not you are doing the pick me dance. Google it. You can never win doing this. You are undermining your own value at every turn. Basically, no one places any value on something that they can have for free and at any time. No one. Also, you can't nice them out of their behavior. They will have completed a million mental maneuvers and somersaults to justify their actions. And you are the bad guy. The root cause of it all. A few pieces of fully substantiated evidence are not going to get in the way of that. You are currently not their friend. Don't try to be. It's counterproductive. Your very best option is total indifference. No communication. No conversation, unless it directly involves the health, safety or well-being of your kids. No interaction. No favors. No jollity. No sullenness. No argument. Nothing. Just May. Cheats like to think that they are in control. That they call the shots. And in the early days, they do. Because the poor old BS is trying to recover from the body blow of their deception. Take back some control. Regain your dignity. Adopt the aura of T. Initially it's really tough. You are going to have to fake it to make it. But it really works. It confuses them. They anticipate begging, pleading, tears, arguing. They are mentally prepared for that. Not for T. It knocks their confidence. Makes them ask, have I really got this right? In fact, it drives them batshit crazy. Give it a go op. Watch her face, if you absolutely have to see her. That will be its own reward. Good luck. Hey, thanks for this. Definitely catch myself doing the pick-me dance. Also aware that I am feeding her narcissist kibble. We live together and have 2 kids, I can't really avoid seeing her. We've also had a few rounds of hysterical bonding, which was enjoyable, but it's come to a stop now that she has COVID. Curious how T works within the context of living with someone 24/7. Any guidance? Obviously much more difficult. But on the premise that the one that demonstrates that they can and will walk away from the relationship, holds the power, this is what you are trying to achieve. You need to get them questioning whether they are right or not. That their vision of the future with their AP is not going to be their best choice. So, to do this whilst living with them is really tricky. You've got to try to convince them that you treasure them, like a favorite jacket, but that they can and will be displaced and replaced. And no HB. That is the physical version of the PMT. Good luck again. The pick-me dance, which was sorta coined by Chump Lady, who runs a 10+ year blog about infidelity, cheaters and saving yourself. She is no-nonsense, anti-reconciliation and calls cheating abuse. Another version of the TI is known as the 180. This is a very proven and useful set of tools while living with a partner who is being difficult, manipulative and uncooperative. What is T? Total indifference. Are you attempting reconciliation? It's just not clear in your post. I assume that you have access to all devices and social platforms. Explain this isn't an option, and if she isn't willing, then D is back on the table. If you aren't reconciling, then it's her choice. Good luck. We have agreed to go into MC. We have our first session February 22nd. I am in IC. We have agreed to take it one day at a time and live in the moment as we work through things. I'm not one for ultimatums. I would file before I would threaten to file. If she isn't willing to be transparent, your success rate plummets. Good luck. Yeah, I'm hoping our MC will start to introduce these concepts, as it's not really going to land well if it comes from me. Worse than her affair landed with you? Wake up, dude. You're being gaslit. Well, this already seems like failure. Get on with the business of divorce and be sure to force a co-parenting app in so she can't play shenanigans like this. Don't play games. Don't give her ultimatums. Don't draw lines in the sand. She had her fun and got away with it. She's playing some kind of head game here and you know it. What she's doing at minimum is testing the boundaries of what she can get away with and have you stick around. Time to change your plan. You think it makes sense to wait for our first MC session? I feel like I can easily run out the clock. The MC will likely be useless at best and undermine you at worst. Because on the face of it, it doesn't mean much. But the context is there, and the context tells you everything. Sit her down. Calmly and clearly tell her something like, "Wife, I don't know what kind of game you're playing here. This doesn't turn off and on again by itself. I've forgiven you once. There will not be a second forgiveness on offer. If you're screwing around again, just tell me now and we walk away clean. If not, then stop with the games, because I'm not playing games. Don't engage or defend yourself. Hear her out, but don't waffle or accept BS. Solid. Love this. I reached out to wife's AP after finding a trove of texts. Wife's friends telling her that I'm crazy for doing so. Advice: just looking for some support, perspective here. My story is in my history. D-Day was just before Thanksgiving. Right before Christmas, I uncovered a pile of texts between her and AP that revealed the EA was much deeper than she had initially admitted. I was angry and hurt, so I messaged her AP on WhatsApp with a simple message. Hello AP, it's me, WW's husband and father of her 2 children. I wanted you to know that there are real human beings on the other side of this equation. Are you as willing to destroy a family as I am to defend it? I told World War I, messaged him, and she freaked out. She immediately messaged him apologizing, told him that I had gone crazy, and that she was sorry he got dragged into the mess. Since then, she deleted WhatsApp and deleted him from FB. Cut to today, where we are both in IC, and have our first MC session at the end of the month. We are taking a family trip in 2 weeks, and I just learned one of her girlfriends will be in the same city, and she plans to hang out with her when we are there. Her friend is a therapist, lol, and when she told her I had messaged her AP, her therapist friend had told her that I had gone mad. I told her I wasn't exactly excited to hang out with this person, because I didn't feel like she was a friend to me or our marriage, and my wife got super angry, and asked me what in the duck am I talking about? We chatted today and I explained that this woman was a trigger for me. That knowing that she said I had gone mad was challenging for me. My wife then said everyone has said the same thing. Sigh. So here I am, asking a bunch of strangers to validate my behavior, and tell me I'm not crazy for messaging her AP. She's not remorseful at all. It's time to bounce. Over the past week she's finally started to show emotion when expressing regret, remorse for her actions. I think it's because she's started IC. Time will tell, I guess. Edit, to folks downvoting. Please read my words again. I didn't say she's genuinely remorseful. I said she's started showing emotions when expressing remorse. The time will tell means, we'll see what's real, eventually. Why would she feel bad when she has what is supposed to be a mental health professional telling her that you're the one that has issues? I bet you $500 that your wife confided in this therapist and she found a way to justify your wife cheating on you. Draw a firm boundary. This person is out or you are. Tell her if everyone thinks I'm crazy, let's both sit down and talk to them so they can explain in their own words why I'm the crazy one here. I agree. Reading this immediately made me think, I can only imagine what this woman told the therapist friend about him. Unless this friend is just a trash human in general, I'd be concerned about the narrative your WW is spinning to everyone about you. Also, if everyone thinks I'm crazy and you're not doing anything wrong, let's go public. If it's all good, why hide it? From what I understand, a lot of therapists follow a European woman who claims that cheating can be good for marriages. I would not be surprised if the op's wife's therapist friend is in that camp and may have cheated herself. And if this friend has done this, I would make a complaint with the Board of Ethics in the city in which she practices. She is playing you. She defended her AP over you. How can you live with such blatant disrespect, even after she betrayed you in the most primal way, by spreading her legs for another man, then telling you you're crazy? Yeah, she sounds like she's just full of regret. Lol, I'm sure she was sucking him off while you were home pulling your pud. She's still going to hang out with another person looking to SHT on you. Get a lawyer, learn your options. Just because you file doesn't mean you have to divorce. But at least everyone knows you're not screwing around. Absolutely, she is playing him. It was an EA, but I feel you. AP is located multiple thousands of miles away. She apologized to him when you contacted him. I repeat, she ran to apologize to him. She treated you like a child throwing a tantrum. All of her friends are doing the same. She has zero respect for you as a man or as her husband. I stand corrected. Though do you actually need that to happen? The intent is clearly there, before you realize, you're not married to whom you thought you were. Do you need that, is the only question I guess you have to ask yourself is, do I wait for the other shoe to drop, or get out in front of it? I've got a lawyer already, and had a consultation. I've got everything ready to go when I pull the trigger on divorce. If she doesn't cut off this therapist as well, I'd file. You're not going to get anywhere as long as she has this toxic cheerleader. It occurred to me I have been rude and not asked, how are you? Are you eating, drinking lots of water, or soda? Sugar is good for shock. I am sorry you have found yourself in such a surreal circumstance. Remember to take care of you. Seriously, because no one else will. Deal with this from that perspective. Is this something adding to, or diminishing your life? Then make your intentions known, and act on them with conviction. I wish you clarity and resolve, irrespective of the choice. Do it with gusto. Hey, thanks so much for asking. I actually have an app I'm using to track my caloric intake and make sure I am eating enough. I'm somewhat underweight in general, and worried this situation might make me more so I opted to remove my brain from the equation, and let an app guide me. I appreciate your empathy and concern. Less than 3. Very prudent. Operate with that singular thought, does this benefit you? Try to be honest and fearless in your assessment. No rose-colored glasses, don't accept criticism from the peanut gallery. Who are they to dismiss your concerns and disparage you as irrational? I bet if the roles were reversed there would be an entirely different narrative. Man, you are getting played like a damn fiddle. Continue to be a doormat because she will continue to step all over you and have you thinking you're crazy for doing what you do. The blatant disregard for your feelings is crazy, and the fact that you're willing to stick around with someone who clearly doesn't care is crazy. I personally don't think it's crazy to go into IC and MC before making a permanent life-altering decision that will affect my children. But I also understand different folks would respond differently. Take your time with eyes wide open, knowing many of her tricks to gaslight you. Also, it may be helpful to meet with a lawyer so you know your options and how your finances will be affected if she continues down this path. Hi, you are not a doormat if you stay for your kids. But she has to show remorse. North Carolina will help her get out of the fog, but it will not be instant. Give it half a year before you make any decisions. Also check if she is not using different apps to continue the EA. I have children as well and a husband. It's crazy to ignore the obvious signs and blatant disrespect your wife has shown. It seems you're holding on to the years, memories and your kids as your excuse to make things work. Hopefully for your sake it's not one-sided when it comes to making it work. Best of luck to you. And taking their parents as an example, your children will also learn that it's normal to cheat on their spouses, call them crazy for being mad about it, but still be together because that is how a marriage is supposed to be. You are just defending someone that doesn't gaff about you. I swear the West is funny to me, like I don't understand you one but. She just now deleted her AP on social media. She messaged her AP saying sorry. Op, you got to open your eyes. That's not remorseful. She's taking up for him and protecting him, not you. Dude. Don't be foolish. She really agrees with these people that you were crazy. I would be packing my shit. I understand what you mean. You don't want to give up. If she's like my spouse, they're defensive and a perfectionist. Hate to know they have disappointed or hurt anyone and will try and take the attention away from them. It's a process. Just remember, facts over feelings. I have started to live by this and also learned not to be afraid to bring up my feelings. They can either handle it or not. We hope you have enjoyed today's episode. Please comment, like and subscribe. Cheers. Have a wonderful day or night, wherever you are.